Hey everyone, welcome back to English Podcast for Listening and Speaking. We're so happy you're here. Grab your tea, relax, and let's explore real-life English together.
Please don't forget to like, share, and comment below. It honestly helps YouTube show this to more learners who want practical English they can actually walk and live.
Today's topic is one we've all experienced: getting directions to a place. Oh, Brian, I've gotten lost so many times it's almost an art form.
Ha, I believe that. Getting lost is basically the universe testing our listening skills. But seriously, understanding spoken directions is pure survival, especially when Google Maps suddenly freezes.
Exactly. It's not just about knowing roads, it's about listening accurately and acting fast. Every city becomes friendlier once you can follow or give clear directions in English.
So tonight's key skill is following spoken instructions accurately. We'll teach you how to hear words like turn left, go straight, take the second exit, and react confidently.
Ooh, imperatives. They're simple but powerful. Short, direct, sometimes polite, sometimes urgent. And I love how they sound like little pieces of confidence. Each verb is a step forward.
Nicely said. Imperatives usually start with a verb. Go straight, turn left, take the bus. There's no you should, just clean action, perfect for real-world communication.
But isn't that a little bossy? I mean, if I said turn left to a stranger, they might look at me like I'm a traffic cop.
True, tone matters. That's why we add warmth. Please turn left at the junction. Same grammar, different feeling. English lets you mix clarity with kindness.
That's the magic combo. Actually, I once asked for directions in London. A man said, "Go straight 2 blocks, turn left, take the second exit." I nodded politely, then panicked halfway.
Classic. The brain forgets halfway because we don't chunk information. The trick is to repeat it back in short phrases. Go straight, left, second exit. Boom, memory hack.
So imperatives are like musical beats, each command one drum hit. Turn left, cross here, keep right. When you hear the rhythm, your feet just dance along.
Exactly. It's not grammar, it's choreography. Imperatives guide motion, and when you give them, you sound confident, calm, and helpful, especially in busy places.
Let's try a tiny role play. You're a local, I'm lost, slightly panicked, and my coffee's cold. Ready? Excuse me, how do I get to the museum?
Go straight for 2 minutes. Turn right at the traffic lights, then take the second exit at the roundabout. The museum's on your left, beside the fountain.
Perfect. Short, logical, full of landmarks. I repeat, straight, right at lights, second exit, left by fountain. See? Paraphrasing locks accuracy.
Exactly what learners should do. Repeat what you heard. It turns confusion into teamwork. If you're wrong, the speaker corrects you before your shoes betray you.
Speaking of betrayal, once in Rome, I followed the smell of pizza instead of the directions. Totally off the beaten path, but hey, I found the best margarita ever.
Off the beaten path, there's our first idiom. Means away from usual routes. Great story, great vocabulary, terrible navigation.
Guilty as charged. But moments like that remind us, language saves us even when maps fail. Directions in English can literally lead you or mislead you anywhere.
So true. Let's help our listeners avoid panic. Remember these micro steps. Ask clearly, listen in beats, repeat politely, thank generously. 4 verbs, 1 calm traveler.
And if you don't understand, smile and say, "Could you repeat that slowly, please?" Kindness buys clarity faster than panic ever will.
Audience question: have you ever gotten totally lost, even with Google Maps? Drop your story in the comments. We'll read our favorites next episode.
Another one. What's the funniest direction mistake you've made in English? Did you end up somewhere ridiculous like a car wash instead of a cafe?
Hey, that happened to me in Tokyo. I misheard second exit as 7 exits. I was walking like a confused marathon runner, circling the same station.
Laughs. You definitely went the extra mile. And probably burned extra calories too.
I sure did. But that's how I learned the imperative rhythm. Short, direct, confident. Once I started thinking in verbs, every trip got smoother.
So the takeaway here is simple. Imperatives are your best friends when traveling. They're clear, they're quick, and they don't need fancy grammar.
And polite tone adds flavor. Instead of turn left, say, please turn left at the junction. Instead of wait, say, could you wait here, please? Same map, softer melody.
Love that. We're basically composers of travel language, each imperative a note, each landmark a beat.
And speaking of landmarks, that's where we're heading next. We've learned how to move. Now we'll learn where to move through location vocabulary that paints maps you can walk.
Ooh, I love this transition. So section 2 is going to take us right into real-life action, how to sound natural when explaining where something is.
Exactly. We'll mix polite imperatives, tricky intersections, and maybe a few funny detours. Keep your mental map open. Section 2 starts right where this road continues.
Let's keep walking together, feet ready, ears alert, hearts curious. Our next stop, imperative verbs in real life. All right, still walking together, friends. We left off at the corner between curiosity and confidence, and now we're stepping right into real-world directions using imperatives in motion.
Exactly. The city's humming, the traffic's loud, and here's where those short verbs become your superpower. Imperatives tell your brain, focus now, act now, arrive safely.
You know what's funny? When I was new to London, I used to freeze every time someone said, "Take the second exit." I'd panic. Second, from which side? From where I'm standing or theirs?
Laughs softly. Classic learner moment. The trick is to picture the roundabout like a clock. The first exit is about 12 o'clock. The second maybe around 3. Stay calm, count slowly.
That visual helps a lot. And the best part? You don't need complicated grammar, just action words, like turn left, go straight, cross the street. Boom, communication complete.
Exactly. Imperatives are the only English sentences that can literally save you from missing a bus, a meeting, or your life goals, all in 3 words.
Laughing, that's dramatic but true. Let's test our listeners' ears. Okay, everyone, imagine you're at a busy intersection. Listen to this. Go straight 2 blocks, turn right, then cross at the pedestrian lights.
Did you visualize it? You probably saw it step by step, right? That's what good direction language does. It paints a living map inside your mind.
And it works both ways when you give directions. You're not lecturing. You're basically drawing with words. That's such a cool thought.
Exactly. And tone colors the drawing. Turn left is factual. Please, turn left is friendly. Turn left now, please, is helpful urgency. Your voice becomes the traffic light.
That's poetic, Brian. But you know what learners ask me all the time? How can I sound polite without sounding weak?
Easy, mix a softener with a clear verb. Try, could you go straight please, or please take the next exit. It's the same instruction but smoother around the edges.
So, imperatives are like the skeleton, and polite words are the muscles. They move the sentence with grace.
Perfect metaphor. Let's do a quick role play. You're in a new city, and I'm your friendly local giving directions.
I'm ready and probably holding a melting ice cream. Excuse me, how do I get to the station from here?
Go straight until the traffic lights. Cross over, then take the first exit on your right. You'll see a big sign above the doors.
Smiling, that's easy to follow. I'd repeat, straight, cross, first right, sign above doors. My ears and feet are synchronized.
And that's the magic word. Repeat. It's not just for listening, it's for confirming understanding. Repeat what you heard. Get instant corrections if needed.
You know, this reminds me of when I was in Tokyo. I thought a man said, "Take the second bus." He actually said, "Take the second exit." I ended up halfway to Mount Fuji.
Chuckling. Well, at least you went the extra mile literally. That's why imperatives are better than full sentences when sound clarity matters.
Exactly. Short verbs cut through accents, background noise, and nerves. Imagine shouting, "Take the second exit," across a busy street. It works.
Totally. And if you're the one helping someone, make your steps short and specific. Instead of walk down there a bit, say, go straight 2 blocks, then turn left at the bakery.
Ooh, yes. Always use landmarks. Turn left at the bakery sounds like a delicious direction. That's what helps the brain visualize and remember.
Right. And here's a listener exercise. Think of your neighborhood. Can you describe how to reach your favorite cafe using only imperatives and landmarks? Try it in the comments.
That's a great challenge. Oh, and don't forget to include one repair sentence like, "If you reach the park, you've gone too far." That's such a polite safety net.
Exactly. Repair lines save embarrassment. They also make you sound native level natural. Everyone in English uses them subconsciously when giving directions.
Okay, let's contrast polite versus direct imperatives quickly so our listeners can feel the difference.
Direct, turn left now. Polite, please turn left at the junction. Both clear, but the second one could win an award for diplomacy.
And what about nervous learners who fear being too direct? My advice, focus on your tone. Smile when you speak, it softens any command instantly.
That's genius advice. Smiling is like the invisible please. People hear it even if you don't say it.
Speaking of smiles, you know what confuses learners most? Go ahead. It's an imperative, but not about direction, it means permission. English verbs love to multitask.
So true. Go ahead means proceed, not walk straight. That's where context saves you. If someone waves you through a doorway, they mean after you, not start marching.
English is cheeky like that, but honestly, imperatives are still one of the easiest grammar tools. No tense headaches, no subject juggling.
Exactly. They're like the universal toolkit of travel English. And if you remember only 5 today, make them go, turn, take, cross, keep. Those 5 verbs can guide you anywhere.
So it's basically go for moving, turn for changing, take for choosing, cross for safety, and keep for consistency. That's a full grammar compass.
You nailed it. And the best thing? Once you master imperatives, listening to real directions becomes much easier because your brain expects that structure.
Totally. I also love how imperative sentences sound like teamwork. Someone says, turn left, and you respond, turning left. It's human coordination at its finest.
You've just described language as movement. That's why teaching imperatives is fun. You can literally see understanding in people's footsteps.
So true. And I want our listeners to imagine this. Next time someone asks for directions, you don't freeze, you smile, breathe, and speak confidently in clear steps.
That's the goal. Use imperatives not to control people, but to guide them. Direction giving is leadership disguised as kindness.
Beautiful line, we should quote that. Direction giving is leadership disguised as kindness. Let's see how many people comment that one.
I'll bet at least 10. But before we wrap this section, let's check what have we learned so far. Imperatives are verbs of action, tone adds humanity, and landmarks add precision.
Exactly. And next we're going to meet the words that paint the world around those verbs, junctions, intersections, roundabouts, and all the lovely chaos of city maps.
In other words, the where behind the what to do. So keep walking with us, listeners, because next, we'll turn our words into maps.
I love that image. Let's follow our own advice and go straight time right into Section 3 Location Vocabulary in Action. All right, travelers, we've turned left, crossed safely, and now we're standing right in the heart of the city. It's time to paint the map with real vocabulary.
Yep, because once you can name places accurately, your directions sound clearer, smarter, and way more natural. Words are landmarks, not decorations.
Exactly. So let's dive in. First word, junction. A junction is where 2 or more roads meet. Simple but powerful.
Kind of like life choices, right? Each junction forces you to decide left, right, or straight ahead. You can't stand still forever.
Laughing, that's so deep, Brian. I was just thinking of traffic lights, and here you are turning it into a philosophy lesson.
What can I say? Directions are metaphors. Next word, intersection. It's similar to a junction, but it usually means roads crossing each other like a plus sign.
So in daily English you might hear, go straight through the intersection, or turn right at the next intersection. It's one of those words you can't survive without.
True. And then we have roundabout. My favorite chaos circle, cars dance around. And you have to count exits like steps in choreography.
Laughs I used to panic at roundabouts. My brain said, turn now. But my heart said, wait, which exit was that again?
That's why we count aloud: first exit, second exit, third. Remember our mantra: action, distance, landmark. Take the second exit toward the river bridge. That's crystal clear.
Ooh, let's add crossroads to the list. 4 directions equal confusion, but also such a poetic word. It literally means choices, possibilities, even destiny.
You're right. It's cinematic. At a crossroads works as both geography and emotion. And don't forget pedestrian. That's you, the walker. Pedestrian crossing means the safe place to cross.
Right. And sidewalk or pavement if you're in the UK. I remember tripping on that one linguistically and physically.
Grinning. Let's keep you upright today. Another good one is alleyway. Narrow, sometimes dark, often filled with mystery and cats. Turn left into the alleyway. Sounds like an adventure.
Yes, and a boulevard feels classy. Walk along the boulevard sounds like there should be jazz music and a gentle breeze.
Exactly. Vocabulary has personality. A lane feels small and cozy. A street feels normal. An avenue feels fancy. And a highway feels like speed and distance.
So you're saying the type of road changes the emotion of your sentence. I love that. Turn right on Cherry Lane feels different from turn right on Highway 7.
That's the beauty of spoken English. It's visual. We talk in pictures. Let's make this practical with a mini role play. You're lost again, and I'll help.
No surprise there. Okay. Excuse me, I'm looking for the theater near Central Plaza. Could you tell me how to get there?
Sure. Go straight past the junction, cross at the pedestrian lights, and take the first exit at the roundabout. The theater is opposite the fountain.
Nice. Opposite means facing, right? So if I'm standing in front of the fountain, the theater's across from me?
Exactly. Opposite, next to, and behind are small prepositions that make big differences. Opposite the fountain is clear. Behind the fountain changes the direction completely.
So simple words carry huge responsibility. And here's a trick. Always double-check prepositions by pointing. Ask, do you mean across from or next to?
Perfect advice. Visual confirmation saves time and confusion. Now, here's a new term, underpass. That's when you go below a road, like a tunnel for pedestrians.
And its cousin is overpass. You walk or drive over something. Great for bridges or elevated walkways. Take the overpass to cross the highway safely.
You're mastering this. Another helpful one, embankment. That's the raised area beside a river, often with paths. Great word for describing riverside walks.
I love that word. It sounds elegant. Follow the embankment to the bridge. It just feels cinematic, like a scene from a travel movie.
You'd be surprised how often learners know the route, but not the vocabulary. Saying, that place beside the water road doesn't work as well as the embankment.
So true. Audience question, what's one location word that always confuses you? Intersection, roundabout, alley? Comment below and we'll help you use it naturally.
Great one. And while you're at it, tell us what kind of streets exist in your country. Do you say boulevard, lane, or maybe something unique?
All right, let's add a little drama because real life isn't always smooth. Imagine I'm in Paris, it's raining, and my umbrella's broken. You're giving me directions home.
Okay. Go straight along the boulevard until the roundabout. Take the second exit, then cross the pedestrian bridge beside the bakery. Keep right until you see the green door.
That sounded so clear I almost forgot it's imaginary. And if I get lost?
You'd say, I passed the bakery. What should I do? Then I'd reply, turn around and walk back 2 blocks. It's opposite the cafe with blue chairs.
That's perfect. I love that repair exchange. It's polite, calm, and very real. It's how fluent English sounds in the wild.
Exactly. Real-life English isn't flawless. It's adaptive. The goal is progress, not perfection.
I'm writing that down. The goal is progress, not perfection. I can see that quote trending already.
Laughing. Let's test one more time. Imagine you're guiding someone now. Give me directions from the station to the park using at least 3 location words.
Okay, go straight through the intersection, turn right at the roundabout, then follow the boulevard until you reach the plaza. The park's behind the clock tower.
Excellent. You sounded natural, confident, and clear. That's real communicative English.
You know, this part always feels like building a world with words. When you use location vocabulary, you're not just describing, you're leading someone through your mental map.
That's beautiful. Words as footsteps, sentences as streets, idioms as little signs of wisdom.
And that brings us perfectly to our next stop, idioms and expressions for direction, because these are what make your English sound truly alive.
Yep, we've done the logic of navigation. Now it's time for the emotion, the color, the idiomatic sparkle that makes English sound like a real conversation.
So everyone, take a deep breath, imagine your next journey, and get ready to go off the beaten path with idioms that make direction language unforgettable.
Let's keep walking. Then section 4 is just ahead, shining like a neon sign at a crossroads.
All right, travelers, we've built our city of words, junctions, boulevards, alleys, and now it's time to sprinkle in some color with idioms that make English sound alive.
Yes. Idioms are like street art for language. They decorate ordinary instructions with personality. They help you sound fluent, friendly, and sometimes even a little funny.
And they often reflect real life, right? Because when someone says, "I'm at a crossroads," they're not always talking about traffic. They mean they're stuck between two big decisions.
Exactly. At a crossroads means you've got to choose between directions, either literally or emotionally. In directions, it's easy: look around, count roads, pick one. In life, little harder.
Laughs. True. But that's what makes idioms so rich. They connect movement with meaning, like off the beaten path. That's one of my favorites. It means going somewhere unusual or hidden.
I like that one too. It feels adventurous. If you go off the beaten path, you'll find the quiet cafe behind the market. It's not just navigation, it's storytelling.
Exactly. It's perfect for travelers and English learners alike. Because learning a language is basically living off the beaten path. You're exploring beyond your comfort zone.
That's such a good metaphor. Here's another one. Go the extra mile. It means doing more than expected. In directions, it's literal: you might actually walk one more block.
Smiling. But it's also emotional. Go the extra mile means showing effort or kindness, like repeating directions slower or walking someone halfway.
Right. It's one of those idioms that makes you sound natural and nice. Like, she really went the extra mile helping me find that hotel.
Here's a fun one: lost in the middle of nowhere. It sounds dramatic, but I've felt that way so many times. You know when GPS stops working and cows become your only audience?
Laughing. Oh yes. I once got lost in the middle of nowhere in Ireland. I asked a farmer for directions, and he said, "You can't miss it." Spoiler, I missed it. Twice.
Laughing classic. That phrase is gold because it captures the feeling: hopeless but humorous, perfect for travelers who've seen too much countryside.
Another one I love is follow your nose. It means trust your instincts, or go where something seems right, like following the smell of food or the flow of people.
I totally do that at airports. If I'm hungry, I just follow my nose to the coffee smell. Works every time.
Same. And there's one more useful phrase for travel in the same direction. It's friendly and practical. Are you heading in the same direction as the station?
It's such a polite way to connect with strangers. Like you're saying, let's share a journey, even if it's just 2 blocks.
Exactly. Idioms are language hugs. They connect people through shared feelings, not just instructions.
You're getting poetic again, Brian. I swear, every episode you find a way to turn English into philosophy.
Grinning. It's part of my charm. Okay, let's put these idioms into a real-life dialogue so our listeners can feel how they sound naturally.
Perfect. I'll be the traveler, you'll be the friendly local, and we'll mix idioms with imperatives so everyone hears both rhythm and meaning.
Great. Set the scene.
Excuse me, I'm kind of at a crossroads here. I think I went off the beaten path trying to find the art gallery.
No problem. Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn right at the cafe. Follow your nose, you'll smell paint and coffee before you see the sign.
Ah, so I should just go the extra mile if I don't see it immediately.
Exactly. If you reach the plaza with the fountain, you've gone too far. Turn back, and you'll be back on track.
Perfect flow. Did you hear that, listeners? We used at a crossroads, off the beaten path, follow your nose, go the extra mile, and back on track. All natural, all friendly.
And no stiff grammar in sight, just real communication. Idioms work best when they sound effortless, like part of your natural speech.
Audience challenge. Try writing your own mini-story in the comments using 2 of today's idioms. Maybe you got lost somewhere but found something unexpected.
I love that. And remember, stories stick. When you use idioms in stories, they anchor deeper into your memory. You'll remember them next time you travel.
You know, these idioms aren't just cute phrases, they teach emotional awareness too. Like, at a crossroads tells you to pause, back on track tells you to forgive yourself for mistakes.
Exactly. Off the beaten path encourages curiosity. Go the extra mile, celebrates kindness. They're emotional GPS markers for life and language.
That's such a good way to say it, emotional GPS. It's like English teaches you how to navigate feelings as much as cities.
So true. And what I love most? You can mix them with imperatives naturally. Go straight, but if you feel lost, follow your nose. Real life, real English.
I like that we keep reminding people English isn't about perfection, it's about connection. Even if you're lost, your tone can guide people to help you.
Exactly. You could be completely lost in the middle of nowhere, but if you sound kind and confident, someone will always help you find your way back.
All right, time for one more role play before we close this section. Ready for another travel drama?
Born ready. Let's get dramatic.
So, I followed my nose to the smell of pastries, and now I'm definitely off the beaten path. I think I'm near a bridge, but there's no sign.
Okay, you're on the right track. Cross the bridge, take the second exit, and if you reach the roundabout with the statue, you've gone the extra mile, turn back slightly.
Got it. At least now I'm not lost in the middle of nowhere. I might even grab a croissant before heading back.
That's the spirit. English with flavor and a snack.
I love how idioms make everything sound like an adventure. They remind you that even being lost can become a story worth sharing.
Absolutely. And speaking of stories, our final section will tie all of this together. Imperatives, landmarks, idioms, and your confidence in speaking English anywhere.
So listeners, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, stay smiling, and stay in the same direction with us. We're about to wrap this journey beautifully.
Coming up, Section 5. The emotional and practical takeaway that turns directions into life lessons.
Let's walk there together. One last turn, one final destination, and a whole lot of heart waiting at the end of the road. Here we are, everyone, the final turn on our little language journey. I can't believe how fast we've traveled together through words, streets, and idioms.
Yeah, this episode felt like a walk through the world itself, full of crossroads, shortcuts, wrong turns, and little victories. And now, we've reached our final destination.
You know what I love most, Brian? This topic, getting directions to a place, isn't just about finding roads, it's about finding confidence in communication.
Exactly. Every time you ask or give directions, you're not just moving through space, you're connecting with another human being. You're saying, I trust you to guide me.
And that trust is powerful, especially for English learners who often fear sounding wrong. Directions remind us, mistakes don't end the journey, they're just part of the map.
I love that. A wrong turn is never wasted, it's just one street closer to fluency. And every, oops, I misunderstood, is another step toward confidence.
Listeners, think about it. How many times have you been lost, literally or emotionally, and someone's kind words helped you find your way? That's what language is for. And the idioms? They're the heart of the message. At a crossroads when you're unsure, go the extra mile when you want to help, back on track when you've recovered.
Yep. And let's not forget, off the beaten path. That's every learner who dares to study late at night, listen to podcasts, and practice out loud. That's real courage.
You're giving me goosebumps. It's so true. Learning English isn't easy, but it's such a beautiful journey when you see progress, not perfection, as the goal.
Speaking of progress, remember our golden trio action, distance, landmark. That rhythm helps you follow directions, but it also works for life.
Oh, I love that analogy. Action, take a step. Distance, be patient. Landmark, celebrate small wins. That's English learning in motion.
Exactly. So whether you're learning grammar, pronunciation, or directions, always keep walking, because movement, not speed, creates success.
Let's talk practical again for a second. If someone asks you for directions, try using all three elements: imperatives, location words, and a tone of kindness.
Right, for example, go straight until the intersection, then turn left at the cafe. The bookstore's next to the fountain. It's simple, clear, and warm.
Or, if you're asking, say, "Excuse me, could you please tell me how to get to the museum?" That "please" opens the door faster than any map app.
Definitely. Politeness is like a GPS signal. It keeps the conversation smooth. And don't be afraid to repeat what you heard. So, straight, left, second exit. Confirmation saves confusion.
Audience challenge time. Try giving directions in English to someone this week, maybe a tourist, a friend, or even just your mirror. Tell us in the comments how it went.
And if it's awkward, good. That means you're learning. English grows when you use it, not when you hide it.
Exactly. Every conversation is a little step forward. And sometimes that step feels scary, but it always leads somewhere valuable.
You know what I realized while teaching this? Giving directions teaches leadership. You organize thoughts, think about clarity, and guide others calmly. That's a life skill, not just grammar.
And asking for directions teaches humility, knowing when to ask for help, when to listen carefully, when to trust others' words. English turns both into strengths.
Beautifully said. So imperatives build clarity, idioms build personality, and kindness builds connection. That's the trinity of great English communication.
You're making it sound like philosophy again, but you're right. And when you blend them all, you speak English that people feel, not just understand.
Speaking of feeling, Emily, remember that time in Barcelona when you tried to guide a taxi driver, and your turn left accidentally sent you into a one-way street?
Laughing. Don't remind me. I was so confident, saying, "Turn left," like a native. The poor man said, "Madam, that's the police station." I've never blushed harder.
And yet, here we are turning that embarrassment into education. That's exactly what we want our listeners to do. Laugh at mistakes, learn from them, and keep speaking.
Totally. So, if you ever mess up, don't hide, share it. Comment your funniest direction mistake below. We'll read some in the next episode.
That's a great idea. Laughter makes lessons unforgettable. When you tell your story, you remember the correct phrase forever.
You know, there's something poetic about this whole theme. Directions are really about human kindness. A stranger stops, listens, helps, and suddenly, the world feels smaller.
Yeah. Directions are one of the few conversations where everyone wins. The speaker feels useful, and the listener feels cared for. That's real communication.
I love that. We often think of grammar as mechanical, but it's emotional. When you say go straight, you're not commanding, you're helping.
Exactly. That's why I say imperatives are the most compassionate verbs in English. They tell people exactly what to do when they're unsure or lost.
Let's make that our quote of the day. Imperatives are compassion disguised as clarity. That's a shareable line if I've ever heard one.
I second that. Listeners, share that line if it resonates and tag us in your post. Let's make language kindness go viral.
Before we wrap up, I want to thank everyone who liked, shared, and commented on our channel. Every little click helps English Podcast for Listening and Speaking reach new learners around the world.
You guys truly are the heartbeat of this podcast. We see your comments, your stories, your questions, and they remind us why we go the extra mile every week.
Speaking of that idiom, go the extra mile fits our whole mission. We're here to walk that extra mile with you until English feels natural, not forced.
Exactly. Step by step, word by word, you're building confidence that goes beyond grammar. You're building courage.
And courage, dear listeners, is the real map. Without it, no amount of vocabulary will help you find your way.
That's beautiful, Emily. And it's true for all learning. Sometimes you have to trust your inner compass more than your dictionary.
So our final message today: keep listening, keep walking, keep speaking. Every word you say is another step closer to fluency.
And remember, every time you help someone find their way, you're also finding your voice in English.
Wow, that's such a perfect closing line. Say it again, slower, for everyone to feel it.
Sure. Every time you help someone find their way, you're also finding your voice in English.
Goosebumps. That's it. That's what language learning is all about. Connection, clarity, and kindness, one direction at a time.
So, listeners, if you enjoyed this journey, give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and tell us your favorite new phrase in the comments.
Because your engagement keeps this channel alive and helps other learners get back on track with their English journey.
From all of us here at English Podcast for Listening and Speaking, thank you for walking this road with us.
And remember, even if you ever feel lost in the middle of nowhere, you're never alone. Your words are your map.
Until next time, keep smiling, keep listening, and always follow your nose toward curiosity.
This is Emily signing off with gratitude, laughter, and one clear direction. Keep learning and keep moving forward.
And I'm Brian, reminding you that the best journeys begin with one small word: go.